Welcome back, everybody. We are back in at part 2. John is across the table from me.
And I'm across from Dan, our co-host, my co-host.
Yeah, we're both co-hosts.
Yeah.
And our guest speaker
is still here.
Is still here with us today. If you hated him on the first episode, then skip this one because he's back.
Yeah, but I'm only on for one more, so power through it. You'll enjoy it.
You're not going to act like if you come in town again, you're not going to be on it again. Can we leave that up to the fans?
Yeah. We'll leave that.
You know what I mean? Like if by the time next week we still have 81 downloads, then no, you're not coming back up.
No, imagine someone leaves Dan goes back on his wife's phone and leaves a comment. Hey, that Zach guy is a loser.
Yeah, we'll be democratic about it. We're about the listeners. So if you like me on the pod, I'll come back on. If not, I'll stay in the apartment while John does it, and I'll wake up at a decent time for church.
I'll actually get some sleep.
Exactly.
I said, you guys were up to 2 in the morning. Why didn't we just record last night?
For real, dude. We should have. Yeah. That would have been goofy, though.
Because I did this. I was up till 3. I couldn't sleep. I just couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
So, but I usually am up till 3.
You're thinking about the pod.
So, see, the thing is, I think about the pod all week. All week. That's all that's on my mind.
You got the circle graph of your brain activity. Yes. It's like
98%.
98% the pod.
The other 2%'s the bathroom. It's just I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
All right.
We're back at part 2 with our short story. We left you with a little bit of a cliffhanger there with part 1.
And tell them about this paper.
So yeah, this paper I found in a pew at church. A teen. It was in the teen section. So a teen hit us with a part 3. Hit us with a 3-part essay or short story. Probably I'm guessing. Well. Yeah. I'm guessing during. Dude, don't.
You know what? You got to let them read it.
All right.
He's getting prepared to read it.
Hold on.
I respect that.
They read this. They wrote this short story during a service. They had to have.
Oh, yeah. There's no way they wrote it and brought it here.
Yeah. So this is part 2 of the short story, and if you want part 1, go back and listen to the episode before this. But Zach,
and also I actually want to point out that as much as we're somewhat roasting this person, the story's interesting.
Well,
it keeps your attention.
I was about to say the telltale sign that this was written during a service is you can tell by the way it's written that every once in a while they maybe got distracted by the service that was going on.
Yes.
Like every once in a while they're like, oh, there's preaching going on. You could tell they're listening a little bit and maybe they got off topic a little bit. So
conviction.
Yeah, the preacher just rudely interrupts them with the preaching going on in the auditorium.
And you notice that in part 1 when they say, I walked into the lights that were on. At that moment, they went, that's probably like Pastor John said something like, and you teenagers, and they looked up real quick.
Right.
And then they were like, oh, wait, where was I at in my story? Okay, in the lights. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So
rudely interrupted.
Yeah. So okay, we got to do a part 1 recap. Oh, yeah. Just quickly, of what happened in part 1.
Let me do a part recap.
Real quick. John read it.
We don't know the name of the writer.
No, we don't.
But we do know his buddy's name's Brian.
We know Brian.
And we don't have a Brian in our teen group.
No, we don't, which is great, because does that mean, is he real?
That's what I'm saying. So we don't know. It could be a different friend. But so basically, this guy and Brian pull up to a YMCA, which we assume is a regular occurrence for them.
Yep.
They decide to go
by themselves.
Apparently, no one else was there. It was empty. They go there. They're going to swim. Yep. They walk down a hallway.
20-minute walk.
For 20 minutes
to get to the pool.
Yes. They get there. The lines are moved. They decide to go diving. Nobody's there. Brian jumps in first.
Swim at your own risk.
Yeah. Brian jumps in first, 11 feet deep.
Forgot about that.
He is down there for 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Subject 1's concerned, says, I'm a dive in.
Not Brian.
Brian does a flip. We don't know if it was front or back.
Nope.
He did a flip.
Could have been sideways.
It could have been. He's down there for 3 minutes. Subject 1's concerned.
Yep.
He dives in. Here we are.
Yes.
Yeah. Just hearing you recap that, I posed the question whether it's fiction, nonfiction, or kind of loosely based on a true story.
It could be a little bit of both.
I'm an idiot. Just hearing you say that makes me think, wow, and what planet is this based on a true story? You know, it's like,
I mean, going to the Y though, that could be a regular occurrence.
That part is real.
And swimming could be.
But in some ways, he's just making it relatable, because we've all been to a Y. We've all walked down a hallway. We've all, jumped into
an 11-foot deep pool.
I think the telltale sign I hear from that is you can't just walk into a pool with nobody there and dive in as a kid. Like, they don't let that happen in the Y.
They said when they walked in, nobody's there anyway.
Yeah, there's no shot. Good point. Yeah. Okay.
So it could be that they did go and that they got there and it was not a lot of people there. It just depends. We need to find this author and not expose them because I need more stories.
So what would we name this segment? Like, because this is a regular occurrence. I find stuff that people not an entire
interesting
three-part
stuff you found at church.
Stuff I didn't find pew dwellings.
Pew dwellings. I like that, pew dwellings. Welcome to another segment of Pew Dwellings.
Found treasure, I would say.
That's amazing.
Oh, Pew Treasure.
Pew Treasure.
That's
yes. Pew Treasure. One word.
Pew Treasure.
Pew Treasure. All right.
Okay, good. Church Pew Treasure.
Church Pew Treasure. That is the segment of this. Are we ready for part 2?
CPT.
Yeah.
All right. Are you ready?
Part 2.
By
the way, just to add a little context, this is on this looks like wide margin paper, not college ruled.
No.
And it's got a picture of a dinosaur.
Or a snake.
A snake, potentially.
I need
An
to
eye
see
of
it.
Sauron.
Can I see it?
Like,
Sauron.
yeah, it's got like 2 different style eyes.
That is like a snake. I thought that was... So this is really stupid, but I thought this was basically this. What? I thought this was like a...
Well, you're pointing
like
something. It's a
mixer.
podcast. Oh.
I know, like a mixer thing. And then I just saw this head, and I went, "Oh no, that's like a snake."
You really only think about the podcast.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, that cloud looks like a mixer.
Well, I'm like,
Yeah,
what is this?
The kid was drawing pictures of sound mixers.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Hey, have you read part 3 yet? What if this kid's like, me and Brian started a podcast,
Oh, no.
Imagine.
and we brought on a giant snake? All right, let's read part 2.
Yeah, and Johnny
We're in deep.
What other pictures have on there?
Oh, yeah, and then it's got a bearded man with luscious locks a little bit. It kind of looks like that we were watching a Dude Perfect video last night. Kind of looks like that guy that was like running the video. Like we watched, it was like Dude Perfect did a survival games. We are grown men watching Dude Perfect. Maybe we shouldn't admit that.
I watched Dude Perfect. I don't care what anybody said. The production it's entertaining, and their production and video editing is fantastic.
Electric.
Yes, they keep your attention. We need to read part 2.
And every dude that's interested in sports wishes that they were them.
Oh yeah, I said so the other day. I said this to Uriah. I was like, "That's a dream job," because they get together with professional players.
Job, yeah.
And like they got Roy McIlroy the other day. Even though it's a golfer, I would golf with that man. I don't care. And then like they played 1-on-1 against Luka. Yeah. What is that? I would happily get destroyed by Luka Doncic. Just saying. We need to read part 2 though. We are everywhere.
That's a dream. All right, part 2.
So part 2 of the story.
Part 2.
Part 2. Go ahead.
How many times can we say it? Okay. I came up out of the water. Yes. I panicked. I looked around and saw walls all around me with no exits, no entrances, just a box. Also, the part that makes this hard to read for the audience out there as Johnny and Dan are throwing bottle caps at each other.
Because I want John to share the mic so we can comment because you're reading. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe for you two, now Johnny has wheeled his little wheelchair around the table and is now sitting with Dan, shoulder to shoulder. Because we only have 2 mics.
Nice and close, yeah.
We have to share mics. I need you guys to be encapsulated in the story, both the listener and...
Amen. That's why I told John, come over here. We'll share the mic as you're reading.
Okay.
Hit us up. So what? Start over.
I came up out of the water. I panicked. I looked around and saw walls all around me. But, okay... What makes this story hard to read is there's literally no punctuation. Like, they don't use one period. There's not a period.
Oh, a comma, nothing.
There's 4 periods at the end, like dot, dot, dot,
giant
dot.
run-on sentence.
It's this is all, the whole entire story is 1 sentence, which maybe is a writing style.
I was going to say this, like, maybe they want you to also make the story. They're leaving it up to your imagination.
Wow.
This person's either a genius
or illiterate, yeah.
This man's ahead of his time.
Yes.
Yeah.
I say man because I'm assuming him and Brian...
This is a man.
Oh boy, okay, yeah.
This is a man, no doubt.
Yeah. That or this is a really weird date for some girl with Brian.
Yeah, they go to the Y and swim. Continue.
I panicked. I looked around and saw walls all around me with no exits, no entrances, just a box. I looked to my left and saw Brian.
There he is, okay.
But he looked older.
Whoa. Older?
And he had lots and lots of tally marks on the wall behind him.
This is sketch.
Lots of tally marks, as in like day 1 down.
Yes.
Usually you don't tally mark until you realize that you're trapped.
That this needs to be started.
what I mean?
We need to start tallying up in here. That's
This is sketch. This definitely took a turn. He was older and he had tally marks.
And he's just in a box.
Yeah, for real.
And had lots and lots of tally marks on the wall behind him. So I swam over to him and asked him if he was okay. He slowly looked up and said, when I flipped into the water, I swam to the surface to find myself in a completely different room.
Room? Or realm?
Room. R-O-O-M.
Yo, so they go down, they come up, they're somewhere else.
Narnia. That's what I said the first time.
I was going to say
Narnia.
that. You hit it on the head with Narnia.
Yeah.
All right.
But also, one takes you to Narnia, one takes you to a empty room.
Yeah.
So, with apparently just a thing of chalk or whatever to make tallies. But I have so many questions. Like,
Yeah, what does he make it tallies with?
We can't think too much into the story.
Yeah.
Just enjoy it for what it is. Keep going.
So I started to hit the walls till I got too tired.
So he's trying to get out. Okay.
Right. So he's starting to panic here. It's starting to set in.
I thought he was putting tally marks up.
Right.
I was like hitting the wall. Okay.
Let me put some tally marks on the wall.
Hey, Brian, can I get some tally marks on the wall?
It's like So with the shards of glass that had broke off, I counted the days 3 years.
Go glass?
I'm so confused. How are shards of glass indicators of time past?
But also, isn't the room empty with nothing around?
Hold on, he's hitting the wall with the shards of glass must have broken off. So is this a box that is a giant mirror?
You got to keep going. What's in part 3? What if it explains the whole thing?
Well, I'm so
where these
confused.
shards
Man.
of glass came.
So I get too tired with the shards of glass that had broke off. I counted 3 years. So I'm gonna read. I'm sorry. I'm gonna. I almost said story, but I'm gonna back up in the sentence and read the. I flipped into the water. I swam to the surface to find myself in a completely different room. So I started to hit the walls till I get too tired. So with the shards of glass that had broke off, I counted the years. 3 years. What is going on?
That's a packed
What
sentence.
kind of like evolutionary like dating system are you using?
I don't
Where
know,
it's like
I'm very
faulty?
confused.
Like, are you using carbon dating on this like shards of glass?
How much more is there?
We're
Just to the
almost to the
part.
end of the sentence.
All right, go ahead.
3 years I've been here. Every way you can think of, I've tried to get out.
So this must be Brian talking.
I think he's brothers in arms with Brian. Like, I think they're both in this room together.
Yeah. So that's what Brian's saying. It's been 3 years he's in here.
I know where we are, said Brian. Where? Asked Danny. So this is Danny. Do we have Danny?
We found out part 2 that his name's Danny. Okay.
Do we have a Danny in the
Don't
church?
know Danny.
Me, but I didn't write the story.
Dan,
I imagine you.
I wrote the story.
Dan, you place this.
I does not make. We don't have a Danny. Right?
No, I don't think so.
We are in a liminal space. Where? Asked Danny. We are in a liminal space. And then I'll say, just for the context, said Brian. What's a liminal space?
We gotta look that up.
Look it up.
I mean, liminal. Is that just?
How do they spell it?
Yeah. What liminal's probably. Well, go ahead.
They probably spelled it wrong anyway, but I wonder what that is.
Okay, I'm looking it up. Liminal space. Liminal spaces are the subject of an internet aesthetic portraying empty or abandoned places that appear eerie, forlorn, and often surreal. Liminal spaces are commonly places of transition or of a nostalgic appeal.
So then I kind of respect that word now.
It is the uncertain transition between where you've been and where you're going physically, emotionally, metaphorically. Whoa, we are getting into this, man.
Yeah, that's a solid word to use there.
Liminal space.
Is that the end of part 2?
I feel like.
Yeah.
I feel like. Okay.
That's the end
Full
of
transparency.
That's the end of part 2, right?
Yeah, they just told an. I gotta be gracious because this is a kid writing it. It's a teenager, but you've told like this really kind of weird story, and then you just hit him with it's a liminal space.
What if this is like a grown man that wrote this?
There's no shot.
I know, but I'm
Was this
just
in the
saying.
teen row? Was this found in the teen row?
No. Yes, in the teen room.
Oh, it was in the teen room.
No. It was in the teen
area.
row,
Yeah.
the section
was
in the
in the
auditorium.
So you guys, I want to read over my part to make sure of everything. You guys want to discuss a little more about what you think. Tell me what you think so far here, John, if you want the mic.
Liminal space, man. That's a bomb of a word. So this man swims down. He comes back up in a different place. I'm of the opinion. So this is what I'm picturing. He's in a box. They're in a box of a room that's either all glass or mirrors. And so he sees Brian. He looks older. Brian's keeping tabs on how long he's been down there. And so Danny starts to panic. He starts to pound on the walls. Shards of glass come off. Then he starts to mark days along with Danny.
I think this is also, it begs the question, like, how are they being fed? What's the nutrition? How are they alive for 3 years in an empty space with just shards of glass? Are they eating the glass? Like, I mean, that shows that you got that dog mentality. If you're eating that glass to stay alive,
I mean,
man,
you're willing to do what it takes.
For real, that's interesting. Dan's reading over part 3, and he's like laughing over here.
So I think this could be a bit of a. It seems like a cry for help. Let's just say the quiet part out loud. This is a cry for help. This story's a cry for help.
They do end it.
They do.
Really?
I mean,
they stick the landing.
They do end it, but like there's potential for more. But there is an ending.
That's
like,
the best type of ending, where they end it, but there's potential for more. It's kind of like the new Spider-Verse.
How amazing! Yeah. You know how amazed I'll be if you find another paper this week and it's part 4. Or 5 and 6.
I want to. Am I going? Did they leave this in there by accident? 100%. This is a Pew treasure.
And the thing is, we can't tell them. Listen, if you're writing this, first of all, let's not write it during church.
Yeah.
Let's throw that out.
I like how it took us this long to actually say that. I know. We don't approve of this.
No,
but it happens. Yeah.
But it happens. And you remember those days.
I do.
You do. I mean, I never wrote short stories, but you remember those days.
Yeah,
you know
this is a bit excessive. You're hitting it with a 3-part,
yes,
3-part short story.
A trilogy.
Yes.
In the third row.
And the third, exactly.
Third row trilogies. That should be the name of his
story.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, are you guys ready for part 3? I don't know if you are, because we're getting into it.
Hit me with it.
I do see this is actually really hard to read. I'm glad I read over it once first.
Yeah, that's why I read over it, because
I did. Yeah, I'm glad I did, because this is like, okay, you got to add in some stuff. You guys good over there?
Yeah, we're ready.
All right, here we go. A liminal space. What is that? So we're starting out right there.
He's answering our questions. We didn't even need to Google it.
I told you guys wait for part 3 because you don't know how they're going to end it. Here we go. Is it okay, they Googled it. A liminal space. What is that? Is it a place trapped between space and time? Present and future? We are stuck here. Period. Yes.
Ooh, first period.
That's the end of the first sentence.
I like that. They're getting bold in part 3.
Here we go. You ready for this?
Like, the period is almost like a Selah now. Like, you got to think on that.
Exactly.
Like, he wants you to ponder. Yeah.
He needs you to go, they're stuck. Is that the end of the story?
We're stuck.
No, it's not.
Oh, okay, you're going on. Okay.
Here we go. You ready? No, I'm not giving up. Have you tried to swim back yet? So I'm assuming they're talking to each other.
Yeah,
right?
I've only had 3 years to think about it.
Yeah.
I think I tried to swim back.
Danny's asking Brian, I'm assuming, right? Like, have you tried to swim? Because Brian's been there for however knows how long.
3 years. He's keeping tallies. He's got tallies.
Okay, so he goes, have you tried to swim back yet? No, you'll drown. I don't know why that made me laugh.
You'll drown. Okay.
I'll take that risk. I'm sorry. If it's an empty space for 3 years or swim and potentially drown, I'm taking that risk. At some point in the 3 years.
Well, here we go.
I'm letting the intrusive thoughts win.
So he said, no, you'll drown. I'll try it then.
Don't do it, Brian. Don't do it.
So this is Danny's going
He wanted the danger. This guy is a bit of a Top Gun maverick. Yeah,
Yes.
he wants...
He said turn and burn, baby.
Thrill seeker.
So here now we're getting into the sauce. That was all juice. Here's the sauce.
Yes. Full
That's a
circle.
full circle back to episode 1. You're
The
welcome
meat.
for that.
We're getting into the meat.
As Danny jumped down into the pool, something caught his eye.
Okay.
A pipe under the water. So he told Brian. He hesitated, but then agreed to go with him. So this is a pipe big enough to go in. Not just like a pipe. You know what I mean?
We're talking Super Mario up in here. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Dude.
Exactly. He's trying to get a power up and go through this pipe.
The wrong guy jumped into the pool first.
It sounds like when he was writing the story, there was also a pipe involved.
Yeah. Okay, so real quick, the wrong guy jumped into this pool first.
Absolutely.
My guy Brian spent 3 years, and Danny's out here solving problems ASAP.
He literally went, okay, what was he smacking glass on the wall? What did he say?
He's hitting stuff. He's making things happen. It might be a picture of Peter in the Bible making things happen.
Hey,
I don't know why you passed the mic to me. I don't know what to say to that.
I'll
picture of Peter.
Let me keep going.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Let's expound upon that. Picture of Peter. What do you mean, picture of Peter?
Just like a guy that's willing to make things happen. He's not thinking about it. He's going after it.
It's all action.
Yeah.
There's I'm not settling.
Yeah, he's chopping the guy's ears off.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, it makes sense. He's getting out of that boat and jumping on that water, walking to Jesus Christ.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Which,
yes.
I mean, yeah. This is not quite that deep, but
yeah.
No. Do it that way.
11 feet.
We're talking about the spirit of the character. You got that Peter spirit to him.
Yeah. So,
okay, continue.
Wait, hold on. Let's not dog. Is his name Danny?
Danny.
The other guy
is the guy that has the brave part.
No. Who's the other guy?
Brian.
The fact that Brian's been alive for 3 years off of shards of glass in an empty room, like that, should be applauded. Like I know we're dogging on him.
Yeah,
that's
true.
Like,
I know he didn't look in the water for the huge pipe that probably is going to lead to something epic.
Yeah, I mean, and there's Brian.
Oh, you think so? You think
I
he's
think
the bearded man?
I think that's well. I don't know. Where does the snake?
He's pointing to the picture on the page.
I am. Thank you for that.
Wait. Is the snake Brian or the other guy? Danny, Brian, or Danny?
We need to finish.
There's a snake and a man. Which one's okay?
I don't think the snake is mentioned.
No, but I'm saying, is the snake Brian or Danny?
Here we go.
That's a great question.
So, Danny then started to swim through the pipe till they ended up in a sewer. Ugh. They both dropped down and walked till they found a ladder up to around. So Brian, this is really poorly written. I'm sorry. So let's just say they swam through the pipe and they ended up in a sewer, and then they dropped down. So they swam and then dropped down.
Okay.
Are you guys picking up what I'm putting down right now?
This is the weirdest YMCA in the world. Let's just say that.
Let's say that right there.
And there's some sewage. That's got to be like a water misconduct. If you ever have like your sewage in your like pool, your chlorinated pool being mixed together.
That's an easy fix. The hard fix is people are jumping in your pool and trapped for 3 years.
Yeah,
that's the fix we need to fix first.
Yeah, that's a more pressing situation. But okay, so they drop down. Now
I don't want my kids swimming in raw sewage.
I agree. But I don't want to lose my kid for 3 years. I'd take the sewage first.
I think maybe it was good for him to be gone for 3. Oh, hey. I just pinned.
I'm good.
You guys okay?
Yeah, we're passing this mic back and forth, and my hand got pinched in the arm. But okay, so we're in a Ninja Turtle situation here. Now they're lurking. Now they're roaming the sewers. Yes. Sounds like they're walking around.
Yeah.
So they find a ladder.
Yes. So
read that sentence. That was funny.
So I'll just read it. So Danny then started to swim through the pipe till they ended up in a sewer. They both dropped down and walked until they found a ladder up to a road.
They're out.
Yeah, they home free.
They're out. Free. Yeah. So up to a road. So Brian climbed up first. Haven't we already learned that Brian shouldn't go first?
No. Yes. That's a 3-year mistake.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the first part of the tribulation period. Like that's a significant amount of time. That's almost a full presidential term. He just wasted.
I know.
In the prime of his youth.
At this point, if you're Danny, you're going, you wait here. I'm going up
no
first.
Chance. Come on, you all got to learn.
Or grab my hand, grab my shirt. We're not losing each other this time.
That's why he is the way that he is, because he goes, you know what? You've been here for 3 years. You deserve to get out first.
That could be true.
They could have gone up that ladder and ended up back in that same room.
Hey, we don't know.
Let's finish it out.
Yeah.
So Brian climbed up first, then Danny, till they found themselves in a neighborhood. I'm just gonna keep going because we keep pausing. They walked into a house and it looked identical to Brian's.
Is that how it ends?
No.
So, but how? Okay.
I know I'm leaving you on that cliffhanger.
Okay,
so they walk into a house.
Yeah.
That looks identical to Brian's.
So I'm assuming that they get up to the road and they see a random house. It probably doesn't look like Brian's house, but when they go in, it's identical to Brian's house.
The inside is basically Brian's house.
Whoever's telling the story is addicted to going into something, and it's different than what you expect on the inside. This is.
They need to mix up their surprises here.
Yeah, he's infatuated with that idea.
So here we go. You guys ready for this?
Yes.
As Brian walked in, again, Brian's going first.
Dude, what is this? It's a bit of a sacrificial lamb thing.
Wait a second. As Brian walked in, he tripped and fell.
Dude, Brian stinks. Let's just be honest.
But what's amazing is, I'm just going to keep going. As soon as he opened his eyes and got up, he was in his room.
Come on! No shot!
So, just to put out another one, they tripped and fell in this room, opened his eye. So first, did you get knocked out?
Dude, Brian's got to stop going first.
I love it. So
I don't know what to say. Like,
I know.
It's just okay. Also,
there's like one sentence left.
It's every single like plot development in the story is you go into something and it turns to be out to be something else. That's it. Every time. That's all this guy's got. He's a one-trick pony.
He is, and there's one more.
He's playing the hits. It is kind of getting us on the edge of our seat a little bit. Okay, come on, hit us with it.
So he tripped and fell. As soon as he opened his eyes, he got up and he was in his room. Did I already say that?
You did.
Okay.
Yeah.
He went to itch his eyes,
No, the itch does something.
but he had a block over them.
What's a block? Like a children's block?
I
Like a play block?
I think that is for you to figure out. What do you think a block? What does he mean?
He had a block on him.
You know what I mean? He had a block over them. Maybe he more just meant his eyes were blocked from seeing. I'm gonna assume.
Yeah, that's
Because there's no. I'm thinking like a giant Legos over his eyes or something.
That's what I was
When you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but here's the end. He had a block over them. He took off the block and realized he was in a simulation.
no.
That's where it ends.
I hate that. That's
Here's my favorite part.
on.
You know who the main character was? Who? Brian. It wasn't Danny, like the guy that you think's gonna end the day.
Brian isn't even the hero in his own story.
No,
He's
That's
the
what I'm
loser in his
saying.
own story. But man,
that was his. He realized he was in a simulation.
Okay, so the block has to be a type of like VR situation. Okay.
hold on. Okay,
That's it. It was a VR thing. That was it.
Full
The
transparency.
block over his eyes.
I read something about this that was crossed out on this page. Give me that page.
what?
And it was at the beginning. I know what the purpose of this was. This was
wanna
what
see
you
if I
call, as a teenager, you're flexing. You're flexing. Let me read it.
I will. I'm just okay.
Okay, so
No, you're ruining the surprise for yourself.
Okay.
there's a section there's like a couple notes crossed out at the beginning of the story, and Zach's gonna read it.
No, just right to the left of part 1. You can tell he writes this on the page and leaves himself room to write a masterpiece, do some art, literally letting himself cook.
Yes.
But he
Do a flip.
you can tell he nudges his friend that's sitting next to him in the pew.
Yeah.
And he shows him this phrase. I'm gonna write a liminal space story. and because and the word "ama" is I-M-A, and then "right"
yeah.
is R-I-G-H.
Yes!
like right, like Frederick Douglass. You know, like
I'm gonna write.
he getting the rights.
You know what I love too? I guarantee you this person learned what a liminal space is this week and then I want to write a story about that.
But you know what? Whoever taught him what liminal space is, like, I'd be proud of. Well, no, I would not be proud of my kid writing a story in church. Never mind. I take it all back.
I was gonna say that's the kicker. Like, he wrote this most likely. Hey, what if it was during the song service?
Like, so how many times do kids like learn something that is completely dumb, and they retain that, and then you'll actually like teach them like an abstract thought, and they just don't conceive it at all. This kid gets a liminal space, man.
Oh yeah, because here's the thing.
He figured it out.
That, and since he put that in the side, we were saying he's a one-trick pony, but he said that's what the story is.
Yes.
Right, and that's
Was true
so,
to his word.
Brother.
That's so crazy that's written to the left of part 1, and we didn't even think to read it because it's scribbled out, but it literally says, "I'm gonna write a liminal space story." That's so funny.
I'm the type of person when I see a sheet of paper like this, I'm looking for the stuff that's etched out, that's crossed out, because that's the true nuggets of gold in the treasure
I was gonna say
chest.
that's your secret ingredients. Your secret sauce is your scribbled out stuff.
And that's the
full circle.
We find the sheet, and then you find the treasure that's on the sheet, like the buried treasure. You found buried treasure. There's buried treasure in the buried treasure. That's why I went to the stuff that was scribbled out. Not that it was that important, but you could tell he had a direction from the story from the start. This man is a artist.
Yes.
That reminds me of a bit of the plot of Kung Fu Panda 1.
What are we talking about?
Listen, he's talking about Poe is trying to figure out what the secret sauce is from his dad, because he works at a noodle shop.
A legit secret sauce.
Yes, but he's trying to figure out the secret sauce.
don't know
and
why
his
that's
dad
what
won't tell him what it is.
Yep.
And it comes to the end of the movie. If I get this wrong, I'm sorry, but
No, you're right.
here's the premise. He's like, Dad, what's in the secret sauce? And his dad says, it's you. You.
I thought he said it was nothing.
Exactly, it's nothing.
Oh, yeah,
it's not a physical secret
Yeah,
sauce.
I thought you were quoting the movie.
No, but basically the
Yes.
whole premise is you are the secret sauce.
That's a big lesson right there.
But also, I like that, John. But how dare you compare Kung Fu Panda to this story? Kung
That's a
Fu
good
Panda
point. It's a work
is
of art.
a great movie.
Fantastic. Shout out to Jack Black, who's probably not listening.
Yeah, I don't think we need to shout out Jack Black. I can say comfortably, we got 2 more listeners in Belgium than we got listening in the house of Jack Black. That is for sure.
Hey, what if that's his vacation home
Belgium.
in Belgium, and that's where he's listening? That's that VPN.
All right, this story, man. What a ride. Closing thoughts?
Yeah.
On the story, yeah.
What do you got, Dan?
That was 30 minutes. Just that part 2 and 3.
I love it.
Sorry
30
about that.
more minutes of limelight than this story probably should have got in the end of the day.
Easily.
But that's why I said at the beginning of you're like, I don't know if this was meant to be found. If I was a teenager and I wrote a story like this is pretty much the peak of what I'm hoping for.
Honestly.
Guys are reading it on a podcast and then we didn't just read it, we broke it down for the people.
We did.
We thought about it too much.
Oh, obviously. We thought about it more than they did when they were writing it.
Absolutely, yeah. That's a good point. If you're reading something, just as a general rule of thumb, if you're reading something and you're putting more thought into what is being read than the amount of time it took to write it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you could tell that, like you said, they're sitting there and all of a sudden Pastor John sits and then they jump back up and look. Oh, okay, he's back to reading the Bible. I'm going to just keep writing.
Ugh.
It's like, okay. So first of all, I think we need to say, because we've only said it once, pay attention in church first.
Yeah, closing
Okay.
thoughts, man. Save it.
Yeah.
Save it for your free time, dude.
Yeah. Come
For
on.
real. I love it. I love the church Pew Treasures, and I'm gonna find more. I'm telling you.
I love that segment.
I
Church
have
Pew Treasures.
I have so many. I found so many of them.
Yes.
But just save it. But let's
Exactly.
segue. Go ahead. Closing thoughts.
I gotta, so
closing thoughts
coming
on
off
this,
of summer camp, I had a bit of a church pew treasure that was found in a bathroom stall.
That's
Okay.
not a church.
Hold on,
treasure.
hold on.
That's just a poop treasure.
A stall treasure. It was in a shower house. What's that? Shower house. I was just saying it like I was from Pittsburgh or something.
There you go.
It was in a shower house. This was about a decade ago. I was with my buddy Danny and I.
Ooh, a decade.
Okay.
You with Danny?
I was not not in the bathroom stall with Danny. Let me preface it by saying this.
Are you Brian in? Are you Brian in the
Danny.
story?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Full circle with Danny.
I was doing
No.
full circle.
He found a CD. Okay. A CD in a case.
That's even better than
and
in
it
a
had
case.
nothing on
That's amazing.
the front. It was just a regular generic CD from
Was
Staples.
it shiny like new?
Oh, it was a new CD for
Okay.
sure. And we thought somebody left the CD behind. No, this was placed. There's no doubt this was placed. This was so the campground is a Nazarene campground. Even though we're a Baptist camp, we rent out a Nazarene campground and baptize it when we get there. We move it all around, make it our own.
Baptize it
I
when
know
we get there.
that's the term I like to use. Baptizing. This was clearly I hope it was a Nazarene. Because we popped it in a computer and gave it a listen.
Oh yeah, you have to.
Opening line. It's a rap. It's Christian rap. Somebody
Yes.
dropped their mixtape in the shower house. And opening line was, praying on my knees in the bathroom stall, Hosanna! Hosanna! That's all I remember. That's all I remember.
Are you serious?
Praying on my knees in the bathroom stall, Hosanna! Hosanna!
That's amazing.
My guy said this track's too hot. I gotta drop it in the shower.
And it was
cool it off.
I gotta cool this
It was smart because he dropped it and it had something to do with the shower house. In the bathroom stall, so he put this mixtape in the bathroom stall. I don't think I gave it very much of a deep listening because I had no interest in listening to
Obviously.
it. But that opening line was enough where I was dying laughing. I hope that a mixtape like that is not found at Hope. I literally hope.
Now
That's
hilarious. I'll find one planted somewhere.
That
But,
is amazing.
So I want to
segue?
segue. I want to segue into this. So we just read a short story that somebody clearly wrote during a service.
Yes.
What was your go-to as a young age, maybe into your teen years, not anymore. You shouldn't be doing it anymore. But what was your go-to time killer during service?
So
what would you do?
I'm gonna say that sleeping doesn't count. Because at some point everyone slept, right? I did.
What was the latest age that you slept? Let's all be honest.
Let me think. So here's the sad part. Here's the sad part. Last week I was in sound.
Oh,
and I'm sitting up there.
You're in the loft. It's hot.
I'm in the loft. It's hot, and I had that fan on me.
Oh,
and I was already tired. And we get up at 6:30, and I'm sitting there dozing off a little bit. And I'm like, oh man.
Yeah. Don't you work a night shift or something?
I work second, so I work 3 to 11. So I wake up at like 10 in the morning. So for this, waking up at 6, it really throws me off.
Oh man.
I was just tired, but like I didn't fall asleep. So the last. Wait, what was the question?
Okay, the last time you fell, like the latest age you fell asleep in service. But I got a story about a sound man falling asleep quick, just because we're on topic. I was preaching in Dwight, Illinois.
Oh, no.
Okay? At a church. And I get up. The preacher introduces me, Pastor Woodward, good guy, introduces me.
Shout out.
And I'm saying, he said explain a little bit of who you are. So I just quickly explained a little bit of who I am.
Recap, yeah.
I'd been around the church I was there basically doing electrical work, helping out with the church, and he asked me to preach one of the days. I was like, it'd be an absolute honor, I guess.
If you have any trade under your belt, the church is going to ask you for help.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm not trying to be mean, true. But you know I'm right.
Yeah. But you know what? That's
fine. I don't care to do it.
You got to use your gift.
You do. You know what I mean?
And I look in the back, right? Okay, so there's a pews of people, and then in the very back is the sound booth.
So is it a booth, not a room?
It's a booth. So it's like 3 steps up to a booth. There's a guy in the sound booth. He is mouth open, head reclined out. I haven't even said turn your Bibles to.
You haven't even got to the passage yet?
I haven't even hit the people with the passage yet. And this man is out cold.
You should
out.
You know what you should have done? Because he's a sound guy, right?
Yes.
You should have been like, you should have started messing with the mic, being like, the mic's not working, guy.
I think it was one of the better messages I preached in my life because the entire time I was preaching to the people.
A little frustrated.
But I'm also trying to wake this guy up. Like I'm preaching. Like, am I so boring where you can't even wake up and just tune in for a second?
He was out before you probably even got up. Was he ever awake?
I think it was like, I swear I saw him up for a split second when I got up, and then maybe to just turn on my lapel. I think he maybe just woke up to turn on my lapel quick.
So that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Because when you're doing sound, the bulk of your work is the beginning. It's all of your work. When the preacher starts, you're chilling. I mean, you're just enjoying the service. So that guy went, boop, lapel mic on,
and then
head back,
mouth open. Out.
If your mouth is open, it's on purpose.
And it did seem like premeditated a little bit. So I get done preaching, and my buddy Micah was also at this church. He's an evangelist, and he's very familiar with this church. He goes to this church, and
so he knows that guy.
He knows the sound guy, and I said to him. He's like, how did you enjoy it? What are your thoughts? I was like, well, I have one thought. I was like, and I need a genuine answer. I was like, does the sound man sleep through every service?
Yeah.
And he was dying laughing because he's like, yeah, a little bit. So
tell him about your interaction though afterwards.
John said, tell him about your interaction though afterwards.
Yeah. With who?
With the sound guy.
Oh, I forgot I told you the story. Yeah.
You confronted him?
No, he confronted me. So
That's amazing.
I'm just mingling, loitering around the church as you do, just hanging out.
Mingle. You do mingle.
Yeah,
you do. Yeah,
and so I do be mingling.
Yeah,
and so I was mingling.
Who does be mingling? Yes.
And the sound man had the audacity to come up to me.
Please tell me he said good message.
And he said, brother, that was a good message.
Yes.
I couldn't believe it. I just said
yes.
He said thank you.
He must think that, I guarantee you, he listens to that message as like a bedtime story, and he's out. Because I'm telling you, I put him asleep instantly. I was melatonin, Pastor Melatonin.
Yeah, nice one there, Pastor Melatonin.
Pastor Melatonin over here.
I will say, I don't know this guy's situation, but actually, when I was at the Institute, Pastor Sal told me that like you have people in your church, like he's like, I knew people in church that worked like third shift. He's like, they came in and passed out. They didn't care. Yeah, because he knew it was going to happen. Because he's just glad that they even came.
Not every situation is created equal. There's a difference between a teenager who's done jack squat all day and a guy who
just stayed up to 4 in the morning playing Fortnite. If that's still a thing.
Answer the question for who latest you fell asleep.
So here's the thing.
You said Wednesday is the
Wednesday. No, it was Sunday.
Oh, okay.
No, but that, like I said, I did doze off. But you're talking sleep.
Yeah, like full on. Yeah.
So the thing is, I don't remember. So that probably means like 6 or 7. I don't remember.
Do invitations count? Because at camp we have like these ridiculously 45-minute, hour-long invitations. I've been working all day.
That's
I have fallen
thing.
asleep.
Well, camp that doesn't count. Doesn't count.
Camp does count.
Because that's also
during the preaching at camp counts.
If it's during the preaching, yeah. But I never fell asleep during preaching at camp. I don't think I could. I also.
Oh yeah, you're not comfortable enough.
No,
at least we weren't. We were under a
chairs.
tabernacle outside in the elements. Yeah,
and I feel like I was always sitting close to Pastor Dave.
Yeah, bugs
for some reason. So
bugs going ham all over.
Oh yeah,
the place.
if you slept with your mouth open at camp, you're full of bugs. Yeah.
Yeah,
I will say there was one kid. Well, I can't remember. It was Joseph Hovey would always sleep.
Probably, yeah.
Put his knees up into his shirt.
No
shirt
joke.
over,
Yeah.
just be out.
Do you ever respect? Like, okay, so the underlying spirit too. Like, I'm a little annoyed. I'm definitely annoyed that people are sleeping in our church. But do you ever have the respect to be like, you had that confidence where you can just, like, yeah, this guy is known for falling asleep, like the guy you're talking about right now.
Yeah,
but he
yeah.
has the confidence to just let it rip.
To just do it.
To just let it
But
rip.
the question is too: does this guy just work a normal job? Is there no reason? You know
Can
what I
he
mean?
take that boldness into some soul winning? Amen. Can he just? He's got the boldness to just fall asleep in the second. So okay, you were saying
He did. He probably does sound on purpose for that reason.
I
That sounds
Right.
mean, but when you're in sound, nobody really can see you, depending on where the sound booth is. But usually, no one's looking at you unless a mistake happens.
Oh yeah, there's
So that's
well,
an easy
like
way
you're
to
saying,
just.
the
pass-
sound booth is a place that is conducive for sleep.
Oh, it is. It's perfect. It's perfectly set up for it.
And so what's the latest? I've fallen asleep in church.
Yeah.
I truly
I don't remember. You know what I mean?
I'm being completely honest with you. I think it was single digits. I have not fallen asleep in church.
I have. I mean, like I said, when I worked third shift for years, so I probably did doze off, but I never full on slept.
Yeah.
I don't remember like all of a sudden waking up and like, I remember just dozing off because that just happens.
I like what Pastor Marshall. I was here a few weeks back. I'm sure maybe it's one of his like talking points. But he talks about
that
like
door closes loud.
yeah, where he talks about like singing hymns, right? You can either just sing the hymn to just get through it, or you can actually think about it and sing it. Either way, it's going to take the same amount of time.
That's one of my favorite actually things about Hope. They actually focus on the singing. Not that other churches don't, and that sounds like a shot at like my previous churches, and it's not. It's just that like exactly what you just said. Like when they sing hymns, they actually talk about what the hymn is. And that's always nice because you kind of do the same thing every Sunday. And there's a lot of churches you sing the same hymns, so you don't remember. Not that you don't remember. You don't think about the meaning. Not to cut you off, but I was just saying.
No. So he was saying that was a moment of growth for him where he realized, either way, we're gonna have to get through it. You might as well just embrace it. That's the way I looked at preaching from a decently young age, where it's like, either way, I'm gonna be sitting here. I might as well just get wrapped up in whatever this preacher's talking about. So I've done a lot of stupid things in church, but that was probably one of the good decisions I've made. But I don't really sleep in church.
No, I didn't. I guess when I was a kid, yeah. I mean, but my parents wanted me to.
Yeah.
You know, they were like, "Please sleep," because I didn't stop moving.
I struggled big time with sleeping during services.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I think it was just, I don't know, the way my body works or whatever. But like, I could, no joke, like, I mastered. It's not a flex, but
I was gonna say
I mastered the art of sleeping.
Like with your eyes open type thing.
No.
Can we write a novel?
Let me explain. Let me break it down.
The art of sleep.
The art of sleep.
John's like, Brian jumped in the pool first.
So I mastered it. I mastered the ability to close my eyes and be out cold without my head dropping or moving or falling
I can't
back.
do that. I'm smacking my head on the back of the pew.
I kid you not. I can close my eyes. I can go to sleep and my head be absolutely still. And unless you see my eyes closed, you don't know I'm sleeping. And I mastered that in high school.
Oh yeah.
I mastered that in high school.
That's a skill. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a flex. Like I don't condone it, but like I got really good at it, and I slept a lot.
What if this story that we were reading about? Think about it. Is it a metaphor for sleeping in church?
It could be.
Because listen to this, Brian. It could be he sees Brian fall asleep, right? And they're in the water of the word, amen. They dive into the water of the word.
Yeah.
And they end up somewhere where they did not envision ending up.
For 3
which
years.
is a dark spot. And sometimes you wake up and you're like, where am I? And you feel you could have been out for 3 years.
Could have been.
So they're out.
And you're in the sewer sometimes.
Right. And then to get out of it, the sewer is the embarrassment of getting up from the sleep.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then they get up and they get back and they're in the preaching.
And
I don't
then-
think that's it at all. Never mind.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
No,
I
that's-
was a little confused where you were going with that. But I understand. I do understand.
For sleeping church, you see your brother in arms fall asleep. You dive in there with him on accident.
Restart what you said because you didn't have the mic.
Oh no! You just see your brother in arms asleep next to you in the pew, and then maybe you doze off a little bit too, and you write a story about how there's that bondship, there's that like friendship forged through sleep through that REM.
I have another segue, but do you have something to say about this?
Yes, I would say probably. I just got to answer the question. Last time I probably slept in
Full on slept.
full on slept had to
You know
have
what
been
I mean?
had to have been Bible college. So I'm
okay.
I'm like I'm 18, 19 years old.
I didn't think about. Yeah. Okay.
R.I.P. That's embarrassing, but
That's not embarrassing. You're 19 years old. I mean, it is, but it's not. Like it's.
yeah, it was.
That's when you're gonna do it.
I kid you not.
Better that than when I was in my 30s.
I kid you
know what
not.
I mean?
It was a situation where I would literally, unless I gave in and let myself snooze for a minute,
Yeah.
there was no chance I was going to survive without.
Yeah.
So I kid you not, it'd be a situation where I'd be like, dude, I am dog tired. I'm not going to make it. I give in. I go, boom, eyes closed, head completely still, directly facing the preacher. Nobody knows.
Besides the preacher.
Yeah, exactly. Besides the preacher.
When you preach, you notice.
And then I don't know how much time passed. It could be 3 years. It could be 3 minutes.
Exactly. That's why I said it's a story.
That is true.
And then
yes.
But here's the weird thing was, I'd give in, and then I'd wake up. Boom! I am more alert than I have been all day.
Sometimes
factory reset up in here.
I literally
sometimes that 30-second power nap is what we call it. That's
the real stuff. That factory
Yes.
reset, legit. That stuff's better than caffeine.
Oh yeah, it can do it.
Power nap.
Nap.
Between about point 2 and 3, you hit them with a quick power nap. You're ready for that conclusion.
That's what I'm saying. And then yes, but also like there's nothing better than if you ever power nap or have a quick doze off and you get abruptly woken up.
And
That will. No, I'm saying that gives you a burst of adrenaline.
no, that's
what I mean.
a fight or flight situation.
It is
for real.
Yeah. So for me, you said
That is true.
You said you mastered the art of like keeping your head up. Yeah. I was not that person. So I'm the person sitting there with my head just bobbing, like, you know what I mean? And I one time at the church my dad was preaching. So this makes it okay because my dad was preaching. Right. My dad's preaching, and I did the whole fall asleep and went smack and hit that wooden piece.
How old were you?
Like 13.
Yikes!
Yeah. So like, well, I was maybe 12. It was middle school. But yeah, I did like, and it was like you heard the, and then that's the one thing, didn't fall asleep again at that day. That wakes you up. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's what's amazing. Jeez, man.
Falling asleep in church, dude. I wish I knew. I wish I knew the hours that I did.
I don't want to know.
I think that's a situation like,
outside of being a kid.
I think that's a screen time situation where you look at that and you're like, no shot.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It's like, did I really waste 2 days of my life sleeping in church?
Yeah, we're gonna get to heaven. And we're gonna see the stats, the advanced analytics.
Yeah.
We're gonna.
It's like you can click on that. You know what I mean? Like here's your analytics, and it's like the in-depth ones. Boop. Oh man,
you got the didn't fall asleep in church crown. Yeah, no, that's ridiculous.
Ours, none of the ones like wasted time on podcast for me and John.
Vain words.
Yeah, vain words.
Oh man, vain words do scare me though. Like that when after the Bible talks about vain words, like man, how many vain words have I had? Okay, all right, sorry, that got a little too deep. We're having a silly goose good time. My bad.
You're good. All right, so I was trying to think. I'm actually going to go back to what you said about. I want to bring up this segment part.
Yeah,
you were talking about how I'm trying to think. You were saying like that the guy came up to you and said that was a great message. Like, you know what I mean? I hate it when I get those compliments.
Yeah.
So and they hit you the most when you preach.
Yeah.
So like there's one time when I got done preaching and this lady comes up to me and she just goes, it's like I've already preached a bunch of times, so she just goes, that was good. You're getting better.
Thank
I'm just
you.
like, getting better? Are you grading me? Like, but the thing is, sometimes you can't think about it. I just go, you know what? I'll take the compliment. Thank you.
Have you ever heard the poem "If" by Rudyard Kipling?
No.
I think you already know the answer to that.
No. Well, there's one line in there that resonates with me. It says, "Treat both failure and success as imposters the same."
And so, failure, success, and imposter
as imposters the same.
Okay.
Sometimes in situations, whether you fail or you feel like you perceive that you failed or succeeded, a lot of times it's imposter. So I look at that as that was something I guess I learned in my Bible Institute training was, don't take when somebody comes up to you with a comment on your preaching, whether it's positive or negative, take it with a huge grain of salt. Like don't because obviously you want to respect the feedback and you're preaching for the people. Yeah. Like for the Lord, you're giving a truth from God to the people. So you're preaching to the people. You need to listen to your audience. Jesus did a good job of reaching the people where they are at. However, I think sometimes you can be lifted up in pride by what somebody says, or you can be discouraged from saying the things that you need to say.
It all depends on how you take it. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, wise man hears rebuke, but yeah, you just gotta. I was saying whether you perceive that you fail or succeed, you got to treat it a little bit like an imposter, the same.
Yeah. And that kind of stuff, if you preach, it's just gonna happen, especially if you're young.
Yeah.
I got a
question. When someone compliments you on something that you did, whether it be singing or preaching or just like helping in a ministry, when someone says, "Hey, you did such a good job on that," what's your go-to response?
Chest bump. I wish that was. Could you imagine that? Right out the gate, he goes, "There's no hit me." No, it's just a surprise. I just fly my chest right at him.
I think we should say what we actually say, and then let's do a little draft of worst things you can say to that.
Okay. Well, I will say my actual one.
Yeah. So what is it?
My actual one is usually I'm always genuine. Like when she said that, I go, "Thank you very much."
Yeah.
I usually the eye closed, head nod.
Thank you.
Fist. Sometimes a handshake, depending on who says it and what is said. If she was like, "Hey, that message was pretty rough,"
you're like, "Hey, thanks." Dapped her up.
Yeah.
No, not dab. A dab.
I know.
There's a difference.
I know.
No, but what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. Okay. So mine, it's not chest bump. So mine is my dad always taught me, because he was taught this way, because he was an evangelist kid, and so they sang all the time.
Here comes that pastoral knowledge.
Yeah, everybody's hitting him with "You did such a good job." So
yeah.
So what Dad taught us to say was, "Praise the Lord."
Yeah.
So that's what I say. So if someone comes up to me and says, "Hey, hey, you did such a good on that thing on that," and I say, "Praise the Lord, man."
Yeah.
What that does is remind me that I didn't do it for myself.
No, that makes sense. I'm gonna start doing that.
even if I,
that's a good thing.
Even if I didn't do it for do it for the Lord, and I did it for myself, I was in that spirit.
Well, yeah.
It's still a reminder, like, hey,
that reminds
praise
you.
the Lord, you did it for the Lord. Like,
that's reminding you and them when you say that. You remember, Brother Greer?
Yeah.
Remember what he always says? Anytime somebody says "Hey, I really enjoyed your message," he always says, "Well, it's a good book." That's what he always says.
That's fire.
That's good. Yeah. Anytime. So here's the thing. He said that in a message once, and me being the idiot I am, I'm like, I'm gonna test this. So I caught him in the bathroom, and I'm like, "Hey, brother, that was a great message." And I'm like, is he gonna say it? He goes, "That's a good book." I'm like, "Oh, he really does say it."
Legend. That's a good quote.
I'm like, he's a really good preacher though too.
Oh, yeah,
his messages are fantastic, but he does, and I'm like, that's such a good answer.
Yeah, I vary it. Maybe it's whether I'm in the flesh or the spirit. I don't think it is. I think it's just a little closer for me. Oh, sorry. You're good. Most of the time I say praise God. Like somebody says, "You did a good job saying," like, "Oh, praise God, thank you." That's usually praise God, thank you.
That's always a good.
And then with a praise God, TY. Yeah.
say praise God, TY. An old person would be like, "Yeah,
what?
Yeah."
No, I feel like even if I heard a young person say, or like I know what that means, I would still be like, "What, bro? We're not texting. Okay, this is an iMessage."
Yeah.
Okay, so what was the thing you were saying that you wanted to do?
Okay. So I was thinking worst things to say when somebody compliments you in church. Like, let's do a draft. Let's go a little round robin here. I think I want first pick.
Go ahead.
So let's
take chest bump.
Somebody else say, hey, you did a good job on this. Just say something right in. So you tell me, good job on this. All right.
Hey, I want you. Does it matter what?
It can be anything. But you can make it weird. You can make it normal. Whatever.
That's good. Hey, you did a great job in sound.
I know.
Yeah, I was gonna say just taking the credit.
That is ratty addy, as the kids call it. That is a rat attitude.
Oh yeah.
Dude, yeah, that's
You ready, John?
I know.
Do you have one?
Oh man, that's a good. That's
also the worst response to "I love you." I know. It's like what?
Yeah. I say that to my wife every night. Like, good night, babe. Love you. I know.
Yeah, that's
Batman about to jump off a building.
I think. Yeah.
I know.
yeah. So that's a super good pick. Number one overall. All right.
Sorry.
Next one. Hit me. I gotta.
You want me to ask you?
I'll ask him. Hold on.
You're asking John? Is John going, or do you need to think? You want me to answer? You want to think?
You think? Okay, Dan, you got one?
I think so.
All right,
hold on a second. Let me make sure. Okay, yeah, because we'll do more than one.
All right, I'm going to do a bit of a, because honestly, let's be honest, women are a little bit usually better at making the comment saying you did such a good job with
yeah.
So I'm gonna, Danny, you just did such a good job with that message. That was a blessing to my heart. You can't laugh at me. How dare you? Excuse me, sir.
Your voice.
Excuse me?
That's my answer. I just laugh at him. just laugh in their face.
Danny, you're breaking my heart.
Okay, wait. Are we doing improv now? What just happened?
I'm trying to give you an avenue.
That's my answer.
Okay, all right. Good pick.
Just laugh in their face.
Straight up, just
start laughing.
A straight up laugh in the face, man. That's
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Hey, John. That special you sang, it was just beautiful.
Yeah, no thanks to you.
Wow! Throwing it back in their face.
It's like, what do they even have to do with it?
That's just me.
All right, let's go. Can we do a round two? Do we got enough content for
round
two?
I don't think we need to do it too many rounds.
I
so
think
one
we
more
need to
round.
dig deep. Okay, all right. Give me a second to think.
Yeah, I know. Well, like, I'm trying to, because I thought something similar to that, and I'm like, I don't want to go straight out at them, so I'm trying to think.
I needed a big third round pick. You
did. I don't blame you. So I think we need to go in reverse. We need a serpentine, so you need to go first.
Okay, yeah. Oh, but he just gave one. He's got to think about it.
Do you need a second? Do you have one?
I don't got one.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's only so much you can say.
I'm thinking about experience, like things that were said to me that were like, what?
Yeah.
Hit me with one. I got one.
You got one? All right. John, you did a great job cleaning the building.
Yeah, I was looking for helpers, but I couldn't find any, so it was just me. It would have been nice to have some help.
Okay, there you go. Yes. Okay. It would have been nice to have some help.
That's similar to the last episode.
I see what you mean.
What am I saying? Episode. That's similar to the last response. But
I see what you mean.
Just the sarcastic, backhanded. I did it by myself. You're trash. Type deal. That's a tough one. That's a hard draft.
Ask me something.
Okay.
I got one.
I got you. Okay. Man, Dan, that special that you sang really spoke to my heart.
That's what I do. Come on.
Wow.
Come on, that's a good one.
Yes, sir. Just another day in the office.
Exactly. That'd be fun. Another day in the office.
Oh, I should have said that.
You should have. Oh, man, that would have been great. Another day in the office. Do you have one?
Just say, I don't have one. I'm just going to say whatever I feel natural, whatever I think is a bit of that rat attitude. I'm just going to try to draw it out of me.
There you go.
My inner rat.
Hey, Zick.
Yeah?
I really enjoyed the video you made for camp.
All right.
That is good. Like the nonchalant, okay.
Make it awkward on them?
Yes.
All right.
That's gross.
Should we do one? Gross. Should we do one where you get hit with that, with not a compliment? The opposite, like they say something rude to you.
Oh, somebody says something rude to you. How the worst way to respond?
Yes.
To it? Ooh,
yes.
Maybe one round of that. That
does sound fun. We can do one round.
Okay. Do you got one?
It kind of depends on what you're gonna say. To be completely honest, though, this one does.
Just go off the cuff of it.
All right. You ask me. I'll
you want to go first?
I'll just go off the cuff.
Okay. Hey Zach, that video you edited, it was just terrible.
Yeah, I'd like to see you do a better job, bud.
The sad thing is, that's what I would say. Yeah, for real. I might be like, really? You want to do it?
Yeah, you do it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right.
What's stopping you?
All right.
It's a ministry, buddy.
Dan, you ready for one? You ready for one?
Yeah. You
gotta go off the cuff. All right. Okay. I'm thinking. Hey Dan, Wait, okay, hold on. What questions were we asking? It's not a compliment. You're
just being mean. It's a diss. Yeah, like I said, like that video I should have said like that video you edited. It wasn't your best. That's more of a. You know what I mean?
I made a video that I was super proud of last year, and one of the higher ups in the camp. I lean over. I was like, "So what are your thoughts on that?" Because I spent a ton of time on it. The kids seem to love it, and he hits me with the. It overstayed its welcome a little bit. And I was like, it was 4 minutes! 4 minutes?
He's like 3:45 and no later.
It's like, what? It overstayed its welcome, but that lived rent-free in my head this year of like, okay, I just need to make videos that don't overstay its welcome because I want the feedback.
And you said that was a higher up that said that?
Yeah, and I don't want just flattery. I need that feedback.
You did get that constructive criticism.
Yes.
That's what you need.
But he was genuine, so I appreciated it, but it still made me laugh later. Like, it overstayed its welcome. Come on, man. Like,
I feel like he overthought that. Like that comment overstayed its welcome.
Yeah.
Like that, you know what I mean?
I got a problem letting things overstay its welcome.
Yeah.
All right, so I got you. Ready, Dan?
Are you asking me?
I'm asking you.
Okay, or telling me whatever.
I'm telling you. Hey, you were supposed to cut the grass, but you didn't. What's up with that?
John's like, and then here's the real question.
Oh, was that a real situation?
I mean, yes and no. I did say
it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. But
no, what's getting personal up in here?
It's not like that. But
what do you say? What's the response there?
Oh, that's a good point. Ask me again.
Hey, Dan, you were supposed to cut the grass last week and it didn't get cut. What's up with that?
Some of us have real jobs.
I got hit in the nose with the mic. I don't know if you heard that, but yeah, I just got hit with a right hook from Johnny with the mic because he's. Yeah. Some of us aren't, cashing checks from the church, sir. Some of us have to tithe up in here.
That's so good. That's what it should have been. I tithe is paying for that grass to be cut.
You're too good at this, Dan. You're too good at this.
I'm pretty quick on my feet. I'm really can be. I can be.
Did John? You answered, right?
No, he hasn't answered yet, John.
Okay.
John hasn't answered. All right, let me know when you're got.
Here, I'll give him one. I haven't given one yet.
I was gonna say, John, why doesn't the grass cut?
Do you even have one yet, or you're still thinking?
I'm going to be honest. That one, I didn't know what I was going to say until you said it. It just kind of came to me. I was like, okay, I'm going to go with this. Some of us don't work for Big Daddy.
Yeah. Oh, yikes. All right. We gotta shut it down. We'll move on.
This could get so much worse.
Getting a little too close to home. No, we're just
shout out. I love John and Pastor John.
Okay. Hey, John. You sang in that play, and you had that one line. You forgot the lyrics. You were flat on that key note. Like, you're capable of so much more. Like, you didn't do a great job.
This is so detailed.
Just starts crying. I would cry.
Okay.
Tears being shed.
I'd straight up cry.
That'll hurt the other person.
I have no response. You cut so deep on that, I'd cry.
I was honestly like, when you started, and I'm like, man, this is the 3-sentence question.
I saw you detailed. Like you do the cringe emoji where it's like the mouth that's like very symmetrical, like the.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'd straight up cry. What am I gonna say? You're bad at singing. No, you are.
There was a time.
Well, yeah, Uno reverse card.
There was a time where when I was in middle school, when I was playing tennis, and the guy that was kind of coaching me in tennis, because it was like a homeschool thing, he actually told me he was trying to like help me, but I lost, and I'm a sore loser. When he told me, I legit said, "I don't see you out there playing," and he hit his fist like this, and my mom was like, "Daniel," and I remember being like to this day, I'm like, I can't believe I said that.
Probably shouldn't have
I was like a 12-year-old to a grown man. Like I was like, oh,
probably sounded something like this. I don't see you playing.
Yeah, it did. And I'm like half crying because I lost. Like, I don't see you out there.
Dude, I was such a sore loser as a kid, bro.
Still am.
One time we lost a basketball game, dude, and I was so upset that I wept bitterly, like Peter. I wept, and you know how you shake hands at the end of the game, get in line, shake hands? I walked into the locker room, didn't shake hands.
I got a story for you about Dustin with that.
Dude,
so you know how Dustin's competitive.
Right? I know, yeah.
And Dustin's going to be like, why you got to tell this story? But I'm going to tell it anyway. So, Dustin, you could... Nothing. So, anyway, this is my brother. My older brother. So, one time at the end of the game, they lost. So, they tell him to shake hands. My brother goes through the line And as he, you go through the line, good game. This is legit. He's going, you suck.
Wow.
Down the line. My mom made him go back and apologize.
That's a savage move by your mom. That's a big. That's
first it sounded like my brother that he actually did that.
You suck.
Yeah.
That is a pivotal. That's a pivotal teaching point
at a Christian school.
No, that's a rat attitude for sure.
Yeah. That's just when you're competitive, you just something comes over you when you lose. Yeah. Now I just have more control over it. I still get mad. I still chuck the pickleball paddle.
Lacking temperance, man. Like you lack the ability to just control emotion.
Yeah, because
rule over your own spirit.
Nobody wants to lose. You don't lose and you're like, no, that was fun. You're not like, it was a good try. No, you're like, I wish I would have won.
Yeah, I'm a competitive guy, but you gotta have the self-awareness to like, what is that?
My wife calling me because it's almost
let her on the pod.
No, last time she got off right away. We tried.
Oh,
we did try.
All right, well.
Dude, but yeah,
are we shutting this pod down?
I don't know, man. What are we at? What time are we at?
We're at an hour and something, so we can.
Shut it down.
We can shut it down.
Honestly, dude, I was kind of nervous going into this with like the mic situation. We only got 2, and I kid you, you'll probably hear it. Me and Zach are swinging this mic back and forth.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
But this was big, dude. This was big. I think I enjoyed this.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a lot of fun. It's always fun.
I woke up at 7. We're like 6:45 to John. Banging
Shaking
around the apartment, like going in the bathroom and stuff. I'm thinking, this fool on the Lord's day.
When my alarm went off.
We're going to a closet.
Yeah.
All right.
Glorified closet.
All right. I can't even. My face is still puffy from being sleepy.
I'm just running off.
And we're going to record a pod? Yeah. What are we doing here? But no, this was a ton of fun, and I really appreciate being on.
We appreciate having you on, man. This was a blast. And I mean, it's like me and John said, like we honestly. Not that we look at the views because it's fun, but we don't really care. This is just really fun to do.
For real.
Like we don't.
If only friends and family listen to this, I'm content. For real.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
that might be better.
I don't think I've only really been to this church twice. Once for a Sunday service about 2 weeks ago, and then at the Bible conference. I don't think I really even talked to you. Maybe we introduced each other.
I think I said hi. I don't remember your name, but I remember being like, hey, because you went and talked to John or Nate.
Yeah.
Nate, yeah. That's John's younger sister.
What?
Nate.
Oh my!
Shout out to Nate.
He is prettier than some girls. Let's be honest. I hope he's listening to that.
We love you, Nate.
He's like, come on, that's a ricochet shot. If he's listening, like he's just listening to the pod and he's like, what?
He just shuts it off right then.
Yeah. But yeah, they were super friendly to me when I got here. But I didn't really talk to you, but I feel like we really connected. And even if nobody listened to this, I'm really appreciative of the fun conversation we just had.
I'm just glad we had to get to talk on here.
Yeah, for real.
Because it was just a lot of fun. And next time you come in, I'll play pickleball with you.
Dude, it flowed pretty well.
Let's do it.
We're thinking about going this afternoon, brother. Well, you got a wife, and you cannot come, as the Bible says.
What time? Like soon after, or are you gonna wait till like?
I feel like this is a post-podcast.
It is a post. We need to end the podcast. No, we're talking about when we're gonna play pickleball on the podcast.
I'm not gonna lie though. I put in a solid 15 hours of picking pickleball this week.
That's insane,
dude.
That's a whole separate podcast for pickleball.
Yeah, that's a part-time job. But if this podcast,
that's great. Yes, it is.
This podcast pops off.
Like I didn't even work my full-time job all the way this week.
We gotta start dropping other content. Like we start dropping a pickleball, vids.
Oh yeah. I'll let you know.
I'll let us play because the banter during pickleball is better than this. No, not better than this. I'm sorry, that sounds like a diss to this. But pickleball banter is hilarious.
Did you play with Uriah?
No, I didn't.
He didn't play?
Bro, I gotta. No, I played Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday.
Is this a podcast conversation?
No, it is.
Okay.
It is. So I don't care if people know we like pickleball. I'm absolutely.
No, I'm just saying like.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, but it is. It's funny. I'm completely into pickleball right now.
Oh yeah.
No joke. We played yesterday. So me, Caleb, and Uriah pulled up. It was just the three of us, and we got in a game with this Asian guy. His name.
Oh, you're lost.
Okay, he was.
You three versus one.
No. I imagine us three versus him. No, it was us. It was me and Caleb versus this guy and Uriah, and his name's Jin.
Sweet.
Okay? So, but no joke, bro. He was so good. He wiped the floor with us with Uriah on his team. So that'll kind of.
I bet Uriah talks so much trash.
He did
because he won.
Yeah, he did. For
probably
real.
hit the ball twice.
No. Uriah played really well.
He's getting a lot better. I'm not being like I just like.
I painted that like he got carried, but honestly, dude, he did carry because he was super good, and Uriah will agree. But honestly, I was standing there playing. It was hot outside. I'm looking, and like they were wearing similar outfits, like very similar.
Uriah and him?
Yes, and they were very similar size.
Uriah called this guy.
He was clearly no. He was clearly Asian, but like for a second there, I kind of look at both of them from across the court, and I'm like, dude, is that the Asian version of Uriah? Like, it literally looked like an Asian version of Uriah. Like, it was the same height. They were both wearing gray shirts. Like, it was
skinny. Real skinny.
Both skinny. It was so funny.
Both nice paddles.
Both had glasses. Yeah, for a moment there, I'm just like, I kind of went blurry, and I started daydreaming a bit. I'm like, is that the Asian version of Uriah? Like, that's crazy.
It's hard for that story because nobody knows who Uriah is. Well, actually, people listening do know who Uriah is.
Some people will laugh. But
we need to end this podcast.
But hey, thank you.
Yeah, Zach, thank you for coming on.
So much for
coming on.
Thank you
very much.
Thanks for having me. See you, fellas.
And if we get some good feedback, there is a call-in option on this board, and we'll have you. Or if you come back in town, we'll just have you back on.
I like that. So I actually made some sound bites. You want to play one?
Yeah, play one. Play one to end it.
I think it's this one.
So you're okay.
Of course.
That's one of the ones you picked.
Yeah.
What is this?
We gotta get out of here, man.
Okay, we're not ending on that. Thank you all for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. Let us know if you did. Hit us up with our email.
Yeah,
dnjlifelessons@gmail.com.
Is this still that's our email still, dnjlifelessons.
Yeah, I gotta change that name.
We're working on a name, ladies and gentlemen. When we get it, we'll get it.
Calm down.
Yeah, and this was so much fun, and I hope you listen to part 1 and part 2. I'll do my best to figure out who wrote this short story. Maybe give them a shout out. I know they'll probably want some. Right.
Is this behavior we want to encourage? Like,
no, not the behavior.
I think it's better not knowing the author.
I think it is too. Actually,
you know what? Forget it. I'm not gonna figure it out.
Mystery. The whole thing's mystery.
But as long as the author knows that they're talking about his story or hers, I'm not discriminating.
We'll talk at you next time.
Yeah, let's get off here.
You know.
Thank you guys for listening. Bye.